just like a snake, fooling people with your smile. You have a way of making me think I've had enough with all your lies. Fool me once, fool me twice, but I can see right through your heart of eyes. You're not the person people think they see, and darling, there's no fooling me anymore. You've met your match at your very own game, and now you've got a price to pay. Secrets out, and you're the fool. Now who you gonna go crying to? Fool me once, fool me twice, but I can see right through your heart of eyes. You're not the person people think they see, and darling, there's no fooling me anymore. My faults, no more tears to fall, no more twisted words, no more hearts to hurt. Fool me once, fool me twice, but I can see right through your heart of eyes. You're not the person people think they see, and darling, there's no fooling me anymore. There's no fooling me anymore. Look up at the sky, can you see it now? They shine for you and me, they're shining all around. Look into my eyes, let's just take it in. We'll never have this moment, never again. Right here, right now, all the things I never say until today. And everything we ever wanted is right in front of us, and every little moment is leading up to right now for you and me. We've been running on dreams. This one's for the ones who always said to believe, the ones who stood beside us and held tight to the dream. Looking back now, it all just seems so clear. The blood, the sweat, the tears were leading us here. Right here, right now, all the things I never say until today. And everything we ever wanted is right in front of us, and every little moment is leading up to right now for you and me.
The Rifle Caddy is a unique product. I mounted it in my truck. We've been through some rough terrain. There's a lot of tough roads that we go through here to get to some of the spots that we want to walk into. I can definitely say that the Rifle Caddy stands up to its name.
Welcome, race fans, to the Josh White Racing Esports inaugural ARCA race, the Daytona 200, live watching Josh White Racing TV. We want to give a big thanks out to everyone who's showing up tonight. We also want to welcome into the booth our guest commentator, Zach Banks. How you doing tonight, Zach?
I'm doing good. I'll take this opportunity to introduce myself real quick. I'm Zach Banks. I'm a NASCAR Euro Series recruit. You can follow me at Zach Banks Sports on Facebook. And I was given the opportunity to commentate this race through my buddy Josh White. He's got an amazing program put together. And, you got about 30 guys in here that are ready to put on a show for everyone tonight. And I'm just excited to sit back and be a part of it and do what I can to make this as entertaining as possible.
Hey, that's wonderful. We'd love to have you here. We're very thankful for Josh White and everything he's doing for the virtual racing community. He's giving lots of guys plenty of opportunities. We also want to give a big shout out and thanks to our cameraman tonight. That would be Emerson Art. He's going to be working the cameras as we go through the qualifying session right here tonight. And again, fans, thank you here. You're going to see an exciting race here at Daytona. Josh, give us some details of this track real quick. Most people know, but we'll just cover it real quick.
Well, you got Daytona International Speedway, and basically everyone knows that this is the world center of racing, as you can see up on the graphic there. But, there's a lot of history behind this place. If you go back to 1998, Dale Earnhardt Sr. winning his first Daytona 500, and the classic run down the pit road with high fives was really incredible to watch. But if you look at the real history behind this place, built in the 1940s, they were racing on the beach, and it's really, really a big centerpiece in the history of NASCAR. And to be represented virtually in such, so perfectly, and they did lasers out here. They got everything right to the exact bump, and everything's perfect. And all these drivers that are, working on their racing through this pandemic are going to be able to showcase their skills virtually and see who ends up in victory lane. It's going to be interesting to watch, Robert.
Hey, thanks, Zach. That is a great analysis. And these are the ARCA cars. This is a huge series, lower level in NASCAR. Actually, affiliated with NASCAR, I would assume, is a better way to describe it. How would you describe it, Zach?
Well, this year, NASCAR and ARCA have actually officially partnered together. The ARCA Menards East and West Series are now, this is a new thing this year. And so a lot of these guys are actually wanting to be those real drivers and champions. And, through this whole deal we got going on in the world right now, Josh White has actually stepped up to the plate, and he's hitting a home run right here. We're kicking off the Josh White Esports ARCA Driver Development Series, round 1 at Daytona, and we're going to see who can ultimately showcase a good mix of strategy and skill.
That sounds wonderful. If you know, Zach, in comparison to the NASCAR Truck Xfinity Cup Series, these ARCA vehicles are bringing about how many horsepower here at Daytona? Do they have a tapered spacer or not?
Well, they have restrictor plates, and they're going to be slightly slower than the NASCAR Cup cars, but it definitely is a good representation for what these guys will experience in real life. And, obviously they're going to be pulling less horsepower, but once you see these guys get in the draft, it's going to be interesting to see the speeds that they hit around this 2.5 mile tri-oval.
That sounds great, Zach. And Emerson, our cameraman, you can let us know which vehicle you're going to be following on pit road right now. We do have a whole lot of takers already put up a post of the speed. Let us know, and we will actually give you a couple of hopefully biographies on a driver you may be following.
Well, absolutely. I think there's a lot of good drivers out here tonight, and I'll just take the opportunity to introduce one of our drivers out here, named Tyler Dittmer, as we see the number 11 car taking off for his qualifying run of Dustin Scruggs. But really quickly, Tyler Dittmer, he's a 19-year-old from Gore, Virginia, and he's going to be in the number 24 tonight. And one interesting thing about Tyler at such a young age is he's in the NROTC. He's a midshipman at George Washington University, and he's, not just an esports driver, but he studies criminal justice and psychology, and also runs slot drag cars. So he's going to be, it's going to be interesting to watch how this 19-year-old racing up and comer is going to fare.
That sounds good. I'm reading that a part of his biography, he is a driver for Lizard Works Racing Esports. A lot of great groups out there, a lot of great teams here on iRacing, and we're thankful to have them all.
Yeah, absolutely. And so as we see Dustin Scruggs taking the green flag here, we also are going to shift over. I believe it's a 27 car, but there's different strategies as you see to get around this 2.5 mile oval. Obviously, as qualifying is underway, you can see that they're, right now on the screen you'll see he's about half a car length up. The 87 car is off that yellow line. And it's going to be interesting to see what the real good line is to get in the front, because at the end of the day, you want to start as close to the front as possible to stay out of trouble.
Exactly. That's going to be the key to this race. Exactly. The start of this race is going to be exciting for all the drivers, all the fans. It's also going to be a period of time, the first few laps, for everybody to get a good feeling of this track with this car at night. And some drivers are going to be up front qualifying. They're going to try to maintain their position, make some passes. There's going to be a whole other group of drivers, Zach, that are going to expect the big one and kind of lay back. What do you think?
Yeah, I think you're on point with that. As we see, qualifying is still underway, but I think there's going to be definitely some guys that are looking at it this way. So, I have experience racing on this track. I've, not only virtually but in real life. And here's what you got to do, in my opinion, as a driver. You have to either get to the front or second place minimum, or you have to hang back a little bit, at least for the first half of the race, because there's just simply too many guys up here that are going to be fighting for that lead. And if you can't get there, it might be wise to save your stuff and save your run towards the end, because you never know when the big one's coming.
That's exactly correct, Zach. And right now, as we look at the leaderboard for qualifying, we still have a couple minutes left. We do have Dustin Scruggs in the number 11 with a lap time of 49.482. Right behind him, you can almost put a blanket over both of them, would be Jeremy Crandall in that number 73. He's in second with a 49.491. Third right now we have Rhett Tucker, the 99 vehicle. We'll talk about him later with his biography. He's in third with the 49.495. Fourth, currently qualifying, would be Clinton Castleberry in the 21. He's running a 49.511. And we still have a few cars yet to go out with about less than 2 minutes left.
Yeah, and if you look at the times here, you're not familiar with what's going on, you look at Dustin Scruggs over there in the 11, and he is less than a tenth faster than the guy in 15th place. So that means over this whole 2.5 mile oval, Dustin Scruggs was less than a tenth of a second faster, and that's going to be the difference between first and 15th. So you're looking at really small differences in skill here. That means you're looking at really good drivers, and that means we're in for a really big event, really good event, really competitive event.
That is exactly what we're hoping to bring here to the inaugural Josh White Racing Esports ARCA Daytona 200 here. I want a quick comment on the number 33. It looks like his name is James Fitzmaurice or Fitzmaurice. Not real sure. I got some bio on James. He is in that number 33 vehicle. Looks like he qualified down about 17th. James has a welding background. He led him into working at Troyer Race Cars, building asphalt dirt modified race cars. He's able to meet great people, eventually top NASCAR drivers along the way, meet them as far as he's saying. And now he works as a boiler operator in a hospital, and he has a side business where he builds race cars and parts on the side.
Well, it's kind of incredible to see that these guys who have so much going on take their time out to do this. And, Josh White, Racing Esports TV, putting together this driver development series in the ARCA, is doing a great job getting everyone who, may have in the back of their head something to want to do with racing, or maybe just wants to, make it into the ARCA series or even the Cup series one day, a chance to get it out, as per se, on this virtual broadcast.
One question for you, Zach. Do any of these drivers' names ring a bell for you? In other words, who would you pick as a favorite as they're getting ready to grid?
Well, let me look at the entry list real quick. On face value, I don't recognize any of the names, except Rhett Tucker. I do recognize Rhett Tucker, and I think that based on what I looked at him, I think he might have a good chance. But there's some guys in here that have some pretty interesting driver bios, and I'll say one real quick. Clinton Sneed, he's got a really interesting bio because he works at TRD on the NASCAR Cup cars, so he's got experience actually tuning these cars in real life, and it's going to be interesting to see how he can make his way through the field. Right now he qualified 23rd. So it could be possible that he's hanging back a little bit. As we said, that is a legitimate strategy, because you don't want to be involved in too many, and the damage resets. That's going to be something interesting to see here at the ARCA Driver Development Series, and we're going to see how these guys manage risk, balancing that with taking those risks and staying up front, with making that late charge to the front, which is going to cause a lot of mayhem and a lot of excitement towards the end of this one.
Yes, sir, Zach, real quick on Clinton. He's in the 49, starting 23rd. He is 29 years old. He lives in Denver, North Carolina, just northwest of Charlotte, like you just said. He does work for Toyota Racing Development as an engine supporter. He tunes vehicles for Denny Hamlin, Kyle Busch, Martin Truex Jr., Eric Jones, Christopher Bell, and Daniel Suarez. So this guy knows what he's doing. His hobby is drag racing and bracket racing.
Well, I think this guy has a lot of experience. Clearly, he's been in the sport for a while. And if you look at if you guys can pay attention right here to the bottom of your screen, to the side of your screen, you'll see that Clinton is actually 4/10 off the pace. So I believe, as a driver, he might be definitely just wanting to stay out of trouble. Ultimately, the guys that are up there in front, leading the top 10, like exception by Hamilton, I think all those guys will be done in the first position. And then we might have some guys, 21st on the 30th, that either let off a little bit or are doing kind of an alternative strategy. But like I said, everything goes here, and it's not where you are right now. You can't really win the race in the first corner. But like I said, you could certainly lose the race in the first corner. And it's just about putting yourself in the right position at the right time, as we see the whole field pulling off now in the back straightaway. It's looking kind of giving me a little bit of elevated heart rate seeing all this, because it takes one guy, and we're all connected by hundreds of servers across the world, and computers and wires and all this, and through Josh White to put this all together. But like I said, it takes one guy to get out of line to cause absolute mayhem. So hopefully they can get through it without too much as we're coming to green here, and hopefully we have a great race.
Yes, sir, Zach. And starting the front row, we got Dustin Scruggs in the 11, Jeremy Crandall on his outside in the 73, We do have Rhett Tucker, the 99 third, Clinton Castleberry in the 21 fourth, and these cars are getting ready to go as the pace car goes in.
Yeah, they're about to take the green flag here. Dustin Scruggs is going to lead them off as they hit the gas. They are officially underway. We're now in lap 180 in the Josh White Racing Esports ARCA Driver Development Series. This is going to be fun to watch as you see some separation build up. Guys are already making moves. This is getting my heart rate up, but we got a long way to go in this one, and we're going to see what drivers make the moves as we see a battle for the lead here.
Yes, sir, Zach. In your opinion, the early stages of this race, would it be important for most drivers to get to the low line and protect that double yellow line at the bottom?
Well, I think, with some experience in these races, especially online, it doesn't work exactly the same as in real life. But if you look at drivers' tendencies and which is the shortest way around the track, you can make a run on the outside, a temporary run, but that bottom line ultimately is going to be the one that makes the big push. And we've got 30 guys that are racing close together, and it's going to be advantageous at least for if you want to stay in the bottom for a long time, to keep your position to do that, because you will see that some of these guys up on top will tend to just fall back through the laps here.
Exactly. I do know that gentleman on the outside, Jeremy Crandall, I'm very familiar with him and that number 73 ARCA car. He is from Florida. Matter of fact, his hometown is right near Daytona Beach. He actually has hands-on experience working on cars down there, and he is a true racer, especially on plate tracks. It's good to see him up in second place.
Yeah, well, that's amazing. And as a Florida boy myself, I like to root on any of our kind. So he's actually in the lead right now, Jeremy Crandall, and he's making that high line work. As like I said, we're in lap 3 right now, and you're seeing that high line make some moves. But ultimately, it's going to be interesting to see how aggressive this whole field gets as you see a car spinning off turn 2. Not sure if we're going to have a caution here, but it's going to be interesting to see how aggressive these guys get and how impatient. Because all these guys, they want their name to be out there. There's a lot at stake here. So,
yes. Looks like the caution is out. And real quick, Jeremy Crandall's in a complete Pool Care Inc. sponsored car, 941-235-0375. If you live in Florida, you need help with your pull, call that number.
Yeah, and as you see, we said it before the race, and we'll say it again. This is a risky deal. If you want to be in this big pack, as we see a replay of a hard hit and a hard accident, if you want to be racing in the big pack, you're taking a risk. So like I said, sometimes it's advantageous to ride it out in the absolute front, like we got Crandall and Scruggs doing, or you might want to hang on back. And you see how this turned out for some of the drivers, as you see in the 7 car, absolutely destroyed. But I want to ask you, because I wasn't briefed on this, do these guys get any resets, or is it just if they're done, they're done?
These drivers here in the Josh White Esports Racing inaugural ARCA Daytona 200 do have 1 reset. So that number 7 will be able to come in, hopefully, and get a brand new car and be able to start again. But that's up to the driver.
Well, and you can see right now in the replay, that strategy, as I was saying, kind of did hold up, as you had that main pack, and then you had the guys kind of in the middle, and then you have the guys hanging back, as you can see that beautiful Budweiser number 8 machine in the back. But, the strategy of being in the middle kind of actually didn't work out for, as you saw the guy in the 7 car totally get destroyed, and now he's got to go 75 laps on 1 damage reset. So like I said, sometimes it pays to get out of harm's way, and now he's going to have to really think about what he's doing here, because now he's on thin ice. Now he doesn't have a lifeline, and that's the beautiful thing about iRacing, is you get 1 lifeline here. If your car gets torn up, through the rules package in the Josh White ARCA Development Series, they're going to allow you to fix your car 1 time. But if that 7 car gets Brett Summers gets hit another time, bye Brett. So It's going to be interesting to see how that changes his strategy. And, he's definitely not too happy right now.
Yeah, that's going to drop Brett Summers all the way back in the number 7 car to at least 32nd. However, if he is able to use that fast repair, he may be able to come back out. If he doesn't lose a lap, he may, and then actually get back in the draft later in the race. This is a long race act.
Yeah, so as you can see his car right now, to me it looks pretty healthy. So I think he did end up using that quick repair. But it's, what's he thinking now? So his strategy, as you can see, was, all right, I'm going to actually hang in the middle to back, and I think I trust myself to dodge anything that happens. But as you can see, it wasn't his fault. He just got caught up in a kind of chain reaction kind of deal, and now he's paying for it.
Yeah, he's going to have to find some partners there in the back to make his way back up front. Hopefully he's got a couple teammates that may fall back to help him, or he can make some brand new teammates. As a very famous driver once said, I think it's Darrell Waltrip, he may have to find some co-opetition.
Yeah. So look for the number 7 of Brett Summers to we'll keep an eye on him, but I wouldn't think he'll be too aggressive in these coming laps. I think he's probably going to want to save his stuff for the end of the race. But the guys up in front, like I said, I said I felt good about Rhett Tucker, who's starting right there in the inside line. He's sponsored by Red Bull, among some other companies like Ford. But these top 3, top 4, that's where you want to be right now. And not even in 3rd and 4th is safe. You want to be in the front, as Dale Jr. said. If you're not in front, you're liable to, who knows, flip, go over the fence. With the physics of these cars, as we're about to take the 1 to green, it's just, you have to be at the right place.
Yeah, Zach, I don't think any of the top running vehicles here went down pit road at all. I think they're all staying out with their 4 tires and the fuel they got.
Yeah, and they're in such a good spot right now. They only have the guys in from 1st to 4th. They have either 1 car ahead of them, or they got clean air ahead of them, and you can't give that up just to get new tires. It's just not beneficial.
Exactly. Not this early in the race.
Yeah. So as we got the pace car coming off here, we're gonna give him green now and see how we can get this race running again. As you see the field kind of accordion now, I think they're gonna give each other a lot more space here. And at Daytona in this inaugural race, I think there's going to be a big learning curve as Dustin Scruggs is going to take that inside line and try to hold that lead.
Yeah, unfortunately, Jeremy Crandall at 73 up top, he did not have any help. He had a good restart, but with no help on the top line, he has fallen back to 3rd. He may be falling all the way back to 4th, Zach.
Yeah, you see that top lane, it's going to take them a little bit to get going, but I think before we reach the start-finish line, I think those guys up in the top lane are going to take the lead. It's interesting being up there in the top because your instinct is to stay down and protect yourself, but if you can get that run, as you see the 73 of Jeremy Crandall side drafting, like I said, he'd take the lead right before and lead this lap. But ultimately, if you get clear of that car on the bottom, what's he going to do? Is he going to decide to stay up there? Because that's a stressful spot to be in. So do you want to stay up there, or do you want to ultimately make that left turn and block the guy below you and go into the inside line? A lot of guys have different philosophies on this. Some guys want to stay up there, but to me, if I'm driving and I get clear of that 11 car and I'm the 73, I go low and I try to maintain that lead.
Exactly, unless the driver right behind him happens to be his teammate, and I'm not sure that's the case or not in this particular scenario.
Yeah, so there's a lot of dynamics at play, a lot of teamwork at play, but ultimately, like I said, you want to stay in front, and we've got a long way to go here. So I do want to give a quick shout out to some of the guys that are racing here. You've got Steven Williams, who's somewhere back in the pack. I think he's running over there in 15th in 32 car. He's 32 years old. He's got 3 kids, and he runs a lawn and snow service. He's the foreman at that company, and right now he's just looking to get his name out there and hopefully come home with the win right here in the Josh White Racing Esports ARCA Driver Development Series. So we're running race number 1 here at Daytona. We got 70 laps to go here, and things are getting pretty intense up in front here.
Exactly, Zach. And Steven Williams, number 32, he's in the lead lap. As you well know, all you fans know, you got a chance if you're in the lead lap with this many laps to go. It is good to see him from New Paltz, New York. Father of 3 kids. I sure hope his little ones are watching him right now.
Yeah, and you could see this whole field is being tugged along by the leader. If you look at you see when all these guys go by, you see all of these people are in the draft. None of these guys are lost, and they're making a choice right now to either be up front, like I said, or to just hang back. And I think what I'm seeing right now is, yes, there's guys being patient, but ultimately I think this is too close for to have the whole race run like this. I think we're going to be seeing a lot of action coming here in the next couple laps. And it's going to be interesting as we see these guys already making runs in the backstretch. People are trying to make moves right now. Don't kid yourself. People, they want the if you look at the 11 car and the 73 car in Scruggs and Crandall, they're getting a lot of airtime. They're getting a lot of recognition, and that could be good for sponsorship in real life. And believe me, as a driver myself, I definitely try to get in the front as much as I can, for my sponsors, and to try to get more and to try to build my brand as a driver, and so it's a coveted spot up there in first and second.
Absolutely, and everybody wants to be up front. We haven't gone over this yet, Zach, but this is a pay-for-play league, the Josh White Esports Series. Not only this ARCA Series, first race here at Daytona International Speedway, but also the Trick Series on Friday nights. If you're a serious iRacer and you want to find a clean league, as you're seeing right now, you want to find out how you can apply to be involved in this kind of an iRacing series. I've been with this group for a few weeks. I've commentated many races with many other leagues, and these guys are high quality. They're paying to be in here. And Zach, there is a payout for every race in this ARCA series.
So let me ask you, Robert, what's the payout? Let's tell the audience right here. What's the payout for finishing in first place?
Yes, sir. I could be mistaken, but I think the winner of this race is $50, second 40, third 30, fourth 20, fifth $10, and the fee to start this race is $10 per car.
All right.
Another caution if you want to go over there, Zach.
Yeah. So obviously you've got all these guys right here in turn 3. They paid to enter, and I don't know about that 7 car, and there was cars that had damage from before, but likely you've had a car or 2 in here. As you see that 7 car sneak by, like I said, right after you see him, that 7 car was hanging totally back. But some of these guys now probably have their second bout of damage, and something has to give. And ultimately, if you don't play your cards right, and you see this guy bumping the 39 car, ultimately, if you're too aggressive or you're in the wrong spot, this is not going to work out too well for you.
Exactly, Zach. I think we're going to take a quick commercial break, come back in about 90 seconds and cover these pit stops, which I feel sure will be happening. We'll be right back. to the Josh White Racing Esports ARCA Series inaugural Daytona 200. We're going to do a on-board review of this crash that just happened here.
Yeah, as you can see, on board right here, it's just, the 39 car got a little impatient, hooked the rear bumper, and caused a huge chain reaction. And that's why, a lot of guys might be upset because, they did pay this entry fee. They're looking to win some money right here. And ultimately, you can't make these kind of mistakes because it can cost a lot of guys, not only money, but some frustration too. Because there's guys here that were doing the right thing, and that's just the nature of the beast here at Daytona. You're going to have wrecks because you're going at 200 miles an hour and you don't have the brakes to stop it. So unless you have, some sort of superhuman ability to avoid wrecks, you're going to get caught up in it, and that's just the nature of the beast here.
Absolutely. Unfortunately, some other cars can get some damage, but looks like live here. Did we have any drivers take a pit stop, or did they stay out? I'm still seeing the 73 of Crandall and the number 11 up front. So it looks like everybody in the top 14 stayed out. They are definitely wanting to keep their track position, Zach. And so we're going to have a restart with the top 14 basically where they were when the caution came out.
Well, and let me ask you, Emerson, what's the fuel window? Is it about 40 laps?
Yeah, I would say so. The fuel window is about 35 to 40 laps around here, but riding under caution, that would definitely help this out.
Okay, so yeah, definitely, obviously riding under caution, you can ride on neutral for quite a bit, or you can leave it in fourth gear or second gear, whatever you want to leave it in, but you can definitely get more laps out of that fuel cycle under caution. And as we have, this is our second caution right now, you're going to have, that's going to affect pit strategy. And if we have enough cautions, it's definitely possible, in my opinion, that maybe you can make the whole race under green without pitting, but we'll see as we go green here.
We are back to green. It does look like Dustin Scruggs in 11 gets a huge run.
Yeah.
Beginning this restart. He does have the 99 of Brett Tucker behind him, but he's a few cars back. Is Dustin Scruggs getting too far out there? Here comes Jeremy Crandall and the 73 on the outside.
Jeremy Crandall is in a dangerous spot. I think he's kind of running out of luck here, and maybe that 66 car is going to come help him, but I wouldn't count on it. As we're riding on board, we see that beautiful Budweiser number 8 car. That's my favorite one in the field right now. But you can definitely see that there's money on the line here. So if you look at how that restart played out, there was a lot more space, unquestionably a lot more space, and these guys know that, all right, we're at lap 17 of 80, you can't win it here. Dustin Scruggs, yeah, he's in front, but he hasn't won the race. As we see Jeremy Crandall somehow making this run. I don't know what kind of fuel he's using as the 66 car if Ryan Wolf is pushing him. But it's, these guys are gonna have to be a little smarter. I think these guys are getting the message that, look, there's 62 to go here. Dustin Scruggs hasn't won, and all these guys right now, I think if they really wanted to give that top 2 a run, they might have something to say about it, but I think there's a big trust factor going on as to the driving of Scruggs and Crandall.
Yeah, and so far so good. They've been in that outside lane, and they have been clean. They might have done a little bit of side drafting you see right now, but so far the leaders, the top 14, 15, we've had no incidents, no cautions up front, and this is a great race for you fans to be watching.
Yeah, absolutely. I think the top 15 right now understands what's going on. I think they're content to be up there, and they understand that spacing is important. And I don't see much impatience going on as we run through the field here. You're going to have guys that are definitely being more patient than others, and it really takes one. Like I said, this isn't, real life. You have everyone is connected through computers and wires and everything, and Josh has brought all these guys together, but it takes literally one wrong move and one impatient move to end the majority of these guys' days. So all these guys here, they're not just screwed at this. They understand what's at stake, and they understand that patience is the most important virtue to race at Daytona. Now, in the next couple of races in the Josh White Racing Esports ARCA Driver Development Series, it's going to be a lot less patience and a lot more, a lot less give and take. But, to carry off on that point, at the end of this race, you'll probably see the least amount of patience in any of the races to come this season.
Yes, sir, Zach. Do you by chance know the name of the sponsor on that number 11 of Dustin Scruggs?
No, but I'd definitely like to give him a shout out, so I'll keep an eye out for that. But, like I said, my pick to win this one from the beginning was Rhett Tucker, and I've heard of him. Definitely, he's a guy from Tennessee, but right now he lives in my home state of Florida, and he's sponsored by Red Bull, Oakley, and Ford Performance. And he races. He is a two-time FKA champion. As you can see, Rhett Tucker's car right there is getting some good airtime in that Ford number 99. And he raced go-karts from age 8 to 15 and moved up to Ford Focus Midgets, and then ultimately ended up in the SCCA Pro Jetta TDI Cup in 2009. And, he's working in construction right now, but still wants to make that name for himself. And he's got a fair amount of coverage right now, and I think he's put himself in a great position to win. They say the guys in front, it's good to be in front, but ultimately when it comes down to that last two races, you've heard Larry Mack and you've heard those guys in the NASCAR booth say they might be a sit and duck as you see the field bunch up here.
Yeah, Zach, I'm going to go through the top 10 if I can get there before caution. We do have Dustin Scruggs in that number 11, beautiful paint job, leading in first. We also have in second place Jeremy Crandall in that, I'm looking at it, the Complete Pool Care Inc. number 73. Back in third, we have got fourth, Ryan Wolf, who's in that Wolf Motorsports number 66. He's trying to give Jeremy Crandall a push on the high side. We also have Rhett Tucker, like you just mentioned, the number 99. He's in third, fourth, depending on which lap. We've also got Clinton Castleberry in the number 5th position. It looks like he is driving that from Delahoma, Georgia, Mountain Lake Estate, number 21 car to 5th position. Back here in 6th, we got Benjamin Dupree.
That's a beautiful car.
That is a beautiful car. 182 is his number. Looks like Vice City. This could be a throwback car.
Yeah, that's my hometown of Miami right there. So I gotta say Benjamin Dupree. Oh my God, I gotta definitely cheer for him a little bit to rep my hometown.
Yeah, that's a beautiful Chevrolet. Back in 7th, we have got Brady LaBeouf in the number 9 car. Looks like he is part of the Michael McKinnon race team. We just had a slight incident on the high side, but we're staying green. I'm going to keep rolling through these top 10 if I can. That's a big team there in the number 9. Brandon Bullock is back there now in number 9. In the number 30, he's in the Old Farm Computer number 30 vehicle. We got number 8. I think I missed him. The New York Islanders, number 5, number 8th position, Max Steck. Max Steck is a great driver. I'm trying to see if I've got some bio on him real quick.
Yeah, I got some bio for him.
Yeah, go ahead.
Interesting. So he actually just got married in October. He's from Long Island. So he's racing all the way up there in New York. And this guy's a definite motorhead. He does cross-country races with ATVs with his wife. He does downhill mountain biking, as do I, snowboarding and snowmobiling. So this guy's a true extreme sports aficionado. Try saying that one. And he's in the New York Off-Road Association and the Grand National Cross Country Association. So he's always doing something to keep himself busy. And right now he's an estimator for an ironworks company, and he's 27 years old. But that doesn't mean that he can't be a total awesome driver in this Josh White series, and things are definitely picking up in intensity right here. We had a moment there a couple laps ago on that backstretch where I could see Max Steg and everyone stacking up, but we're going to have an opportunity now as the caution comes out to re-rack. And as you see over there, I believe that is the 7 car, unfortunately involved in another accident. That would be Brett Summers. So we're going to see, number 7 car. He should be, unfortunately, out for the race because you only have that one quick repair. So the field, it's only lap 26 now, and a lot of these guys now are, field is literally getting smaller. We started with 34, but we've got probably only 28 now with a real shot to win.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, things do happen. I don't have that replay yet. If Emerson can pull that up in the number 7, exactly what happened, that'd be great.
Yeah, well, I would assume that the number 7 guy, Brett Summers, was probably just, as you see right here. My favorite car, that number 8. How would you feel if that happened to you? I don't know if you just saw right there, but Brett Summers was totally innocent, probably again, and just got clipped on the right rear. So that's going to end his day, and that $10 that he put up is going to go to waste, but someone else can take advantage of that who maybe had a better strategy, and is going to take that money and put it in the bank at the end of this one.
As we all know, Zach, these races at Daytona, Talladega, I don't want to call them a crapshoot because there's a lot of strategy. Matter of fact, hopefully in this race, Zach, we get down to where we have some long green flag runs and these drivers get a chance to make some green flag pit stops with their teams. And that's where you take 2 tires, no tires, fuel only, and we're going to have a great chase at the end of the race here. And unfortunately, he's going to have to re-rack for the next race.
Yep, that's going to be it for Brett Summers. And a lot of these guys back here, it's there's a lot to say about luck, but ultimately, you have to take some ownership, or else, you're not gonna survive this one. So, as you see, if you've survived at this point in the back, you have to realize that a lot of these guys are tending to be wrecking right now in the back. You haven't seen any guys step out of line. So as a driver like myself, what I would say, as you see all these guys coming on pit road getting some fuel, what I would say is, all right, my strategy at first was to kind of hang back, but right now I'm seeing these guys that are hanging back are wrecking a lot. So let me make my way up front and just hang tight, rely on that quick repair, and just trust my own driving and trust that everyone around me is good enough to avoid a big accident. So yeah, and as these guys come off of pit road, you'll see that the guys in pit. If you look at the leaderboard, none of the guys in the top 10 have opted to get gas or tires. So these guys are, playing some sort of strategy, trying to save fuel under caution. But the guys in back are not so concerned about track position right now because they don't have it at the moment. But Scruggs and Crandall and Tucker and Ryan Wolf, it's going to be interesting to see how that plays out. If we don't have a caution, they're going to end up in a big disadvantage here because they're going to need fuel. You can't, unless we have a million cautions, you can't make it the whole race on one tank. So they've yet to pit, and as the rest of the top 10 has been, that leaderboard has not really changed. So it's just they're going to have to come at some point, and the guys that decided to pit now may be at an advantage, but it's all situational.
Exactly. Real quick, I want to give a shout out to the number 24 of Tyler Dittmer. If we can get a camera on him real quick. Looks like he is running back here in 10th position. He's in that beautiful number 24 DuPont machine. And Tyler, he's 19. He's from Gore, Virginia. I think we might have already talked about him or not, have we, Zach?
Dittmer, I think we might have, we definitely, brought him up at the beginning of the broadcast. But,
he's got that beautiful Pepsi paint scheme, throwback from, as we all remember, back in the day, the DuPont of Jeff Gordon. But Tyler Dittmer is doing a great job here as managing this race. And I wanted to just remind everybody who's watching, all you fans, everybody in the race who will watch this later. Again, we do thank all of you for being here. This is the Josh White Esports Driver Development ARCA Series Daytona 200. This is a brand new race series starting. This is the first race at Daytona, and there's going to be many, many more races. A gentleman like the number 7, Brett Summers, he's having a really rough day. We all can agree with that, but it does not mean that Brett Summers is out of the development program at this point. He can have a better race when we get to some mile and a half, some short tracks, and he may be one of the guys who gets promoted. And back in his history, we're going to look back and say, oh, that's the guy that had all the issues at Daytona, the first race. You just never know what's going to happen in this series. And I do applaud Josh White as we're going back to green.
Yeah, so the green flag now is out. And, we got that, Dustin Scruggs. He's running, he must have led over half the laps by now. I don't think we're going to see much movement here in the top 10. The only new name I see up there is the 41 of Jonathan Munda. I've been keeping an eye on him and Tyler Dittmer in that Pepsi car. But the field definitely right now gets the message. They understand that, we've got some drivers who already lost, what is it? We're down from 34 guys down to about 26. So that's $80 right there. That's $80 that these guys aren't going to get back. So you either make it to the front or you be patient here, and there's no in between.
Yeah, these guys up front, looks like Jeremy Crandall in 73 is kind of fading back a little bit. Obviously, he doesn't have that outside help. So maybe this point of the race, in lap 31, these guys who have not pitted in the top 10, like we've all talked about, they may be thinking in the back of their mind, okay, we're going to have to pit here 10 laps from now. And I didn't really get very far up front, although Jeremy Crandall right now is going back up to the top in the lead lane. He's got the number 5 following him, but that would happen to be the number 5 of Max Steck.
Yeah, he's going to be one to watch for sure.
Yeah, I was just going to explain, Max Steck looks like he is one of those cars that you're going to have to watch. We talked about it earlier with the New York Islanders sponsorship on this car. And that number 5, Impala, he is moving to the front on the high side. We got a whole line behind him on the outside down back.
Yeah, he's representing his hometown pretty well, I'd say. And I think I could definitely feel his energy wanting to get to the front and represent, what he's about and make a name for himself, possibly move up in this series. But you gotta balance that urge to be in front. With a plan to get there, and it looks like he's got one, so I think he's got his bases pretty well covered, but he's got to make sure to keep off that bumper of that 13 because as we've seen in these cars at least, bump drafting it's not completely safe, as you see Dustin Scruggs still in the lead here, and Jeremy Crandall still up on the side of him. I think they're getting familiar. I think they might have some dreams about each other tonight.
Yeah, they've definitely been side by side most of this race. And this shows you fans exactly how fast this kind of race at Daytona can change, as you've all seen. If you're a NASCAR fan, which I hope you all are. 1 minute ago, I was talking about how the top line was fading away. Maybe they're getting ready for pit stops in 10 laps. Now we got them 2 by 2 by 2 by 2, almost 10, 12 rows back, 5 rows back.
Yeah, it's they're gonna be up there in that lead pack, trying to stay ahead of the fray, but the guys right behind that top 10 are trying their best to stay out of trouble because one wrong move, and these guys in the top 10 haven't put a single wheel out of line in these first laps. But as you see this aerial shot, it really shows you the different strategies because you could be half a lap down right now, but as soon as there's a caution flag, you're right back in this thing. So you can't discount. Look, you see the top 10 right now. I guarantee you, half of these guys will not finish in the top 10 because there's too many guys in back that are going to have something to say about it. There's too many guys in the back that are going to switch out of that wait and see mode and make their moves to the front. I wouldn't. You can't right now I've seen Scruggs and Crandall really dominate the race, but I don't see it's like a sure thing that they finish in the top 2. I don't see that. I don't think that the patience is there, and I think that a lot of these guys want to win money, to be honest with you. So I don't see them finishing for sure up there.
That's absolutely correct. Some of these guys have just been biding their time, racing in the back, knowing that eventually will be a big one. If they stay back in the back, they can avoid that. And as long as they're in the lead lap, they feel like they're going to be good to go to the end of the race.
Yeah, so like you even see this, in the 30 car, just had an accident. I believe that, not sure who that was, but he's in the wall, and he's going to be about half a lap behind right now, and he's probably either going to have to pit or just ride it out with that damage. But by no means is he out of this race. So you can afford to get some damage. You can afford to be back, especially with 44 laps to go. But not sure who that's about making that move at the end. You can't win the race at the beginning, but you can certainly lose it. Right now, it's probably.
Yeah, I want to talk about one other driver, 47 of Gabriel Ellison. We get a camera on him. It looks like he's back here pretty far. He might be one of these drivers who's actually biding his time.
Oh, absolutely.
He's got that beautiful. He's another part of the Michael McKinnon Motorsports Chevrolet program in the 27. Gabriel Ellison, he is from Rogersville, Tennessee. I know exactly where that is. I have in-laws in Kingsport, Bristol, Johnson City, Tennessee. It's one of the heavens on earth left in the United States of America. He's 22 years old. Gabriel started drag racing when he was 8 years old, believe it or not. He's been around bracket racing going on 14 years. He started sim racing in January 2020. He fell in love with NASCAR racing, and he's just probably biding his time for this race.
Yeah, and you can see that these guys are getting more aggressive up here. And the 27 of Gabriel Ellison is, he knows what he's doing, and he knows what he's doing for sure, and he's gonna be, definitely a factor in this race come towards the end. Yeah, and you can see that these guys are getting more aggressive.
Absolutely, and that's what some of these drivers are just trying to do. They're trying to figure this out. This is always a guessing game. If you're on the lead lap, do I stay in the back or move to the front? Do I have a teammate to pit with? If I don't, when everybody pits, I better catch it. And then, Zach, you got the whole other issue of pit stops are going to be coming up soon.
Yeah.
What you got to do is get on pit road, no penalties, get in your pit box, follow your teammates' advice with whatever y'all are doing, 2 tires, no tires, gas, get off the pit road, and then get back in line quick. The 3 drivers in the team that can do that perfectly will probably have the biggest advantage to win this race.
Yeah, and I want to make a quick little note. I'm keeping an eye on each and every one of these guys in the field, and I can sense some impatience coming out of that 22 of Mike Harnish. He's running about in 15th place or so he's right at the tail end of this pack right here. But I've seen him make some moves to get. He's come from basically all the way in back, and I believe that he's trying to get up front. He's right there in back in that black car, and it's going to be interesting to see.
He could be one of those gentlemen who surprises everybody. Maybe make some safe moves, get on pit road, pick up a teammate. You never know how this is going to end.
Yeah, I've seen some moves. He's been definitely trying to do whatever he can to get up front. I see him back there in that 22. If we can get a shot with him, I'd like to ride along with him and see what he's doing to make his way up to the front, because I can just totally see that he's itching to get there. Yeah, as we ride along with him, take note of what he's doing. He's letting off right now, but Mike Harnish, shout out to him. I've seen him make some moves to get from the tail end of this thing, and he's making his way up. So he's definitely got something to say, as do a lot of these guys back here. But I wouldn't be surprised if he's up in that top 10 in the next couple laps as we reach halfway in this inaugural Josh White Racing Esports ARCA Driver Development Series at Daytona. We're running 80 laps here. It's 200 miles. virtually. So, you know, we got still 100 miles left. But, you know, we're going to see, you know, as we got some guys going below the yellow line to try to make things happen. I wouldn't be surprised if that was Harnish, because he's definitely got this agenda. He's definitely wants to come up in that field, and we'll see what happens.
Yeah, I just noticed there, Zach, number 111, Brandon Jones, is having a little bit of a battery issue with his vehicle. He actually had some sparks coming out a minute ago. Could be a connection issue here on iRacing, and that's going to freak everybody up behind him. I see it again one more time, and hopefully he can get that fixed or come down to pit road early.
Yeah, so Brandon Hughes definitely, I've seen him, you know, one issue that you're going to have in online racing that you don't have in real life is that guys on iRacing will tend to blink when they don't have a great connection. As you know, we got a big wreck happening here in the 24. Oh my God, the leaders. Like I said, that whole top 10 now is going to be shuffled up. And, you know, we got Scruggs and Crandall, who were dominating the whole race, both of them. Now this whole thing's shaken up. So you've got these guys that were leading the race and were pretty much in control. You know, they're either going to have to fight their way up, or they're going to have to just say, you know what, I got to limit my risk even though this happened, and, you know, find whatever it is inside me to be patient. And just
if we can pull up that replay of the 73, right behind the 11 is what I was looking at. Maybe we can find out exactly what happened. Looks like the 11 pulled up to try to block the outside, and maybe not had enough room if we can do that replay real quick.
Yeah, as you can, and you can see that bump traffic. Look, it's not like the cup cars. You get right on that corner, on that quarter panel, and it's no good. It's no good. You'll get turned around real easy.
Yeah, unfortunately, that's exactly what happened. The 11. Right there in front of Jeremy Crandall in the 73. Unfortunately, at the front of the field, Dustin Scruggs got turned. It looks like 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 cars got involved in this one. And this is what you call, fans and drivers, the big one, as we all know.
Yep, that's going to shake up the race for sure. You know, I think, yeah, definitely the top 2 are out. As you see Mike Harnish making his way up into the top 10. It's going to be real interesting now to see what they have to say, you know, about this. They're going to get their quick repair. They'll be fine. They'll still be in the race, but they're not going to have that luxury of being too, you know, they're not going to be in control like they were before. You're going to have guys up there like Castleberry. You're going to have Roji. You're going to have Brandon Hughes, who we were just talking about. You're going to have that 66, who I, you know, thought had a great chance. These guys are going to be have a lot to say in terms of, you know, what's going to happen in these closing 37 laps.
Yes, and if we want to do a replay on an in-car, let us know. But it looks like this could be a great opportunity for all these drivers who did not pit to go ahead and pit now, and even the leaders who may be able to get a fast repair. Zach, they're going to be in the back with less than half the race to go.
Yeah, so, you know, with the cup cars, here's the difference. What you're seeing right now is these cars kind of are functionally similar to the 2004, 2005 NASCAR NXT Cup Series cars. You know, the cars that even through the 2006 and 2007. For me, I remember, you know, Jimmy Johnson and Dale Earnhardt Jr., that classic incident at Talladega where Brian Vickers took them both out. But if you really want to think about what type of racing is going on in this ARCA Driver Development Series, it's not as easy to make these big runs and push each other as what you're going to see tomorrow and what you're going to see in the Cup Series. It's just simply not. You know, if you remember back in the day, like, you know, 2000 to 2007, these guys weren't on each other's bumpers like they were now. There were more spaced out, there were more pack racing, and it takes a much different skill set to run it. So, you know, these guys that were running up in front, they stayed in front when they were up there, but now back in 25th and 24th, I just don't see them. I don't see Crandall Scruggs and Brett Tucker, who got totally wiped out in this incident. How are they going to run all the way back up without, you're either going to have a mad rush to the front, or you're going to have these guys say, you know what, I'll just hang back and let the gods decide.
Yeah, well, strategy is definitely going to come into play. If you were leading this race earlier, like we talked about with the 11 and the 73 of Crandall, no matter how much damage they got some damage. And to be competitive, they're going to have a clean car, Zach. So almost halfway through the race here, they're going to have to restart near the back. And we're going to probably have to see another big accident that they get through clean for them to be able to get back to the top 2 or 3 positions. But you and I have both seen this happen. From one of our favorites of all time, Dale Earnhardt Sr. He knows how to do it. Some of these guys may be able to do it as well.
Yeah.
They're going to have to restart.
And we're going to go to green right here, coming off of turn 4. And right now, this whole dynamic is going to be real interesting to watch.
From one of our favorites of all time, Dale Earnhardt Sr. It looks like we have in the lead here Scott Kennedy in the number 2 car, but the outside line is going big time. They just have a great run on him. He must not have much of a push.
Wow, so that outside lane totally just dominated as Fitzmaurice takes the lead over here. Wow, this whole field is getting flipped on its head. So we got the 33 car up ahead, and in second place, Fulton is going to be pushing him, and that 66 car is going to have something to say. I think he might make that run on the high side and try to pull down, because you've seen Ryan Wolf throughout this race trying to make that move and try to somehow make a statement. I wouldn't be surprised if he doesn't pull down the lead.
And he's got help from behind here, so if he gets a good push, hopefully not touching, he may have the energy to get up in front of the 33.
Yeah, if I were him, if I were that 66 car right now, Brian Wolf, I would do everything I can to get a run on that high side and then pull down, because you can be up there in the front. Oh, as we got contact here, you can be up there in the front, and you can ultimately, I think the high line might have that energy to make the especially in these cars, to make that move.
It looks like he just missed the move. The number 2 car goes to the high side, but he's gonna get hung out. He's gonna get hung out. He's up in the wall. Yep. He did not have any pushers, and hopefully he keeps it on the wall.
Yeah, he's gonna keep it on the wall there. You can't. Oh wow. So we're gonna have a caution here. But that just shows you can't try to make a move where it doesn't exist. As the number 11 of Scruggs gets some more damage. So unfortunately, here's a quick lesson. You can be running out in front and your day will end just like that. I think he might have used his quick repair already. So, that's probably going to do it for Scruggs. But, as we got 33 to go, this whole race was shaken up just like that. Just like that. Exactly.
And it sounds like Kennedy in the number 2 did admit that he was unable to keep it off the wall long enough. Came back down, if you can see the replay. I'm not sure if he has a fast repair yet or not. He was right on the verge, Zach, of pushing the 66 to the lead. And now he's back in the back, and we're going to have to regroup here. Maybe time for another commercial break. Welcome back, race fans, to the Josh White Racing Esports ARCA Series Daytona 200 live at Daytona, Florida. Zach, how are we looking here? More than halfway through the race. Looks like most guys have had their pit stops who never pitted before. I'm let you go over the running order right before we go green here.
All right, so like I said, the top 10 here, it's interesting because the guys up here in the top 10 weren't, a lot of these guys actually were in the top 10, but I didn't see Fitzmaurice up there too much. Somehow he got up there. Derek Fulton, Nathan Roji, Gabriel Ellison, these guys, and even Jade Franklin in the 03. These, they weren't totally in the picture just a short while ago. But, like I said, that strategy of either being in front or being in back, that kind of blew up in my face a little because, they were up front and keeping it clean. But, like I was saying with these ARCA cars, they are really kind of reminiscent to those old days of, you can remember when Brian Vickers took out, they took out Jimmy Johnson and Dale Jr. right up on that backstretch at Talladega, because the moment you get on someone's bumper here, they don't have that Teflon material that they have with these Cup cars where you can just pound them in the back and they're fine. Something happens here where it just spins you around. So, unfortunately, Scruggs and, Crandall ultimately paid the price for the mistake of someone behind them. And that's just kind of the nature of the beast here.
Absolutely, Zach. We're going to earth the restart. We have a whole new list of players up front. Some have been here before. We got the 33 of James Fitzmaurice leading. Ryan Wolf in the 66, Derek Fulton 19, Benjamin Dupre in the 182, Brandon Hughes in the 111, Jade Franklin, 03, hadn't talked about him, Gabriel Ellison up here in the number 27 car, Nathan Rogge, forgive me, Brandy LaBeouf in the number 9, your top 9 or 10, Max Steck in 5th. Pace car is off. I'll let you take the replay.
Yeah, so we're going back to green here, and, you got these guys up in the top 10 just running it through and seeing, who can keep that lead towards the front. I saw Joey Lancaster back in the top 20. I wouldn't be surprised if he makes a move. But, oh, my God, you got guys just making moves here and trying to force the issue a bit. I don't know how long this is going to last, Robert.
Yeah, guys that were up front in the back now, they're going to try to make their way up front. But we still have a little bit less than 30 laps to go, which is a long time here at Daytona, Zach. And right now we have them 2 by 2 by 2 by 2 up front, and this could be an exciting finish.
Yeah, my hands are sweating here. My heart rate's a little up. This is a big factor here. You've got guys like Clinton Castleberry who were up in front. You got Scruggs. You got Crandall up already in 14th already. They are not wasting time. 29 laps to go here. We're getting down to crunch time. It's not the time where you need to force the issue so much, but if you want to be in that money, if you want to be near the front, I'd say now is a good time to go. As we see the 66 of Ryan Wolf, he's going to get totally out of line, total disorganization up front. There's going to be a huge crash here. As the 27 of Gabriel Ellison, who you're talking about, gets totally booted out of the race. I think we're going to stay green here unless the caution comes out. But usually with one car, we'll be able to stay green. But there's simply too much, as we see the replay here, that 27 just getting booted out to the inside wall. That's what happens. You got 28 more circuits of this 2.5 mile triangle, and it's just something's got to give here, especially when you're racing that aggressively. So we'll see how it works out.
Yeah, right now we're looking at, I'm going to try to do a quick rundown. Hopefully we stay green for a few minutes. We got Derek Fulton in the number 19 car. He's in the first position. He's got that beautiful Chevrolet Impala SS paint scheme. He looks like he's getting the lead. Will he move down, Zach, or will he stay up top and try to bring the 66 behind him? We'll find out here in a second.
Well, it's too late now. Now he doesn't have that option. And, like I said, whenever I'm driving on these things and I see that thing, I see that option to go on the bottom lane, Personally, I find it to be a less stressful environment to be on the bottom. So, if I was Fulton, I would have already moved down. But and now he's got a little window to do it too. I don't know why he's not taking it. I would be all over that if I was up there. But you've got, if you look at your top 10, Jeremy Crandall, he went from first all the way to 26th, and he's back up in 7th. He's definitely going to be back up there. I don't know how he did it. You don't see many of these guys moving around, but he's just sneaking his way up there in that 73. Look at that highlight.
Yeah, Jeremy Crandall is a good friend of mine. I've raced with him for 3 or 4 years. He is the kind of driver at these big plate tracks living near Daytona. He knows how to get it done. And it wouldn't surprise me at all by the end of the race, see him up front. And these guys are getting really close here in the top 4.
Yeah, it's going to be crazy. I think Jeremy Crandall's going to have something to say, and there's a huge big one. And this is going to really end a lot of the drivers' races. This is just bad. This is huge.
Yeah, we'll give our cameraman, Mr. Emerald Arden, a second to pull this replay up.
Man, this is going to be a total reshuffling again.
Yeah, let us know who started that one. I can't quite find it right this second.
I think this might have been started by connection issues, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I think the 111 might have hit the 66.
Oh, yeah. To me, that was connection. To me, that was confusion, because I think what happened was you had a guy try to make the move to the top lane, not realizing that there was actually a guy there. And then when he realized there was a guy there, he tried to pull it back down and ended up, you'll see right here. Look, he didn't see that guy. The 66 or that blue car did not see the driver there.
Yeah, exactly. Sorry about that. Bless you. Looks like Derek Fulton in the number 2. Give me a sec. The one car did not see the lower one. I'm looking right now on the replay.
Yeah,
and it looks like the 66 of Ryan Wolf did not see Brady LaBeouf in the number 9. And either that was a connection issue, which sometimes we call netcode in iRacing, which is virtual, or this was just a miscommunication on track. And that's what started the big one.
Yeah, I think that 66, ultimately, I'll give you my analysis of this situation. I think on his screen, that car under him didn't exist because you saw him go inside of him, which doesn't happen unless you have this connect. Watch. He went inside, right? And it didn't affect his car. So I think what happened was, on his screen, he probably didn't see him, but then on the other screen, I think if you look on the, on the guy who got wrecked there, and if he was driving on his screen live, he probably got hit by the 66 and ultimately had that go south.
Yeah, it looked like it turned the 9 right into the outside wall. A lot of cars got involved, and unfortunately that's going to happen here at Daytona. Now our second big one, and hopefully we can have a little bit cleaner driving here to the end, but it's going to shake up the whole lineup here, Zach, on what you're going to do now. You should have plenty of fuel to the end, especially with these caution laps.
Yeah, well, I think everyone's going to have enough fuel to go to the end, but I think it's going to be a matter of who can, who saved their stuff enough to have that one quick repair right now, because, if you're going to be in a really good position if you still have that quick repair, because I would not be surprised if we have a wreck even bigger than this one by the end of this one.
Yes, Zach, and I'm going to go through the order real quick, just to let us know where everybody is. We have the leader now as we're still under caution. The number 33 of James Fitzmaurice. Second would be Derek Fulton, the 19. Third, we got Brandon Hughes in the 111. Fourth, we have Dane Hagan in the 39. Haven't talked much about him, but he's up there in fourth. Fifth, we have Jade Franklin in the 03. Sixth, we have Clinton Sneed. He's in the 49 machine. Clinton Castleberry, we talked about. He's in the 21. They're up in seventh. We've also got Chris Cinnamon. Haven't talked much about him either. He's in the number 3 car in eighth. Ninth, we got Nathan Ruge, and please let me know, sir, if I'm messing your name up. I don't mean to. You're in 9th. We got Rhett Tucker in the 99 in 10th. 11th here, we've got Benjamin Dupree in the 182. Brandon Bullock in the 30 is in 12th. We've also got Jonathan Munda in the 41. He's in 14th. He's trying to have a good run here. Brett Tucker is back there, looks like. We must have missed him. He may have had a pit stop. Max Deck in 5th. Brandon Bullock 30th, back in 13th. 14th, Tyler Rex in the 84. Haven't talked about him. Mike Harnish, 15th in the 22. Ryan Wolf, 16th in the 66. Steve Williams, 32 in the number 17th position. 18th, Jonathan Munda in the 41. Great number there. Tyler Dittmer, the 24. We talked about him a lot, 19th. Gabriel Usson in 20th and the 27th. But we've got some of the leaders we had early, Zach, that are nowhere near the front.
Yeah, Scruggs and Crandall both a lap down, unfortunately. And they're finding themselves in a similar position to our man Brett Summers, who, they played pretty diametrically opposed strategies, but ultimately find themselves in similar spots. I don't know if Crandall is going to be able to fix that car. It looks like maybe he did. I'm not sure. If we're looking at his hood right now. I think he might still have some damage. But I do want to give a quick shout out to a driver in 5th place, Jade Franklin. He is, a racer in real life. He's a young kid, and he's making his name out there at Flamborough Speedway, and he just got a top 10 finish over there at Flamborough Speedway in the late model series, and he's going to be one to watch because we got 1 to green right now, and we're going green right now. We're going to see what he can do up from that 5th position.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Zach, for that information on him. The 33 of James Fitzmaurice was able to pull down and grab the lead. Behind him, we've obviously got Derek Fulton in the number 19. Looks like these guys have learned a few things. We've got less than around 21 laps to go, looks like, and they're going nose to tail here. Hopefully they can keep it in line, although these guys are getting huge runs in these ARCA cars, and the 33 is in jeopardy of losing the lead here. Oh, great save by the 03 there.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I think the 03 of Jade Franklin, he's definitely showing some aggression right here, wanting to get to the front. And look for it in these next 2 laps. When we have about 20 to go, this field is going to look a whole lot different. Watch that high line come into play right here, and watch for the field to kind of, consolidate a bit. And I think there's going to be some guys here that are in danger of actually losing the pack, being too patient. And if we go green all the way, that might not be the best thing. But, like I said, 21 to go here. That field already looks completely different. As we have, where's the 03? He's falling back a bit. I think he's going to try to make a run for that high line out there in about 6th place. But yeah, like I said, this field already looks completely different. They are consolidating. Like I said, by lap 20, you're going to have all these guys with 20 to go. You're going to have this whole field already bunched up together. And it's going to be interesting to see what is the outcome of it. I don't think it's going to be too favorable for many of these guys. So I know that guys are trying to be at the front right now as best they can.
Looks like the 111. If I'm not mistaken, just took the lead. He's in that Highway US 50 Auto Sales Trade Chevrolet, and he pulled right down in front, and he is now the new leader. Brandon Hughes, he had some issues earlier, but he's been in the top 5 the last half of this race. Can he keep it there, Zach?
No, I don't think he's going to keep it there. I think he's in a decent spot right now to stay out of trouble. But there's too many guys that want to win the money, and there's too much power at that top lane, as I've seen. We've done 60 laps, and actually the top lane to me seems faster. It doesn't seem like it doesn't seem like a lot of guys want to go up there. But ultimately, in these closing laps, you're probably going to have someone in the top lane edge out the guy in the bottom lane. So that's why you have a lot of guys trying to ride up top. And I don't think that 111 is safe by any means. At all.
Yeah, Ryan Wolf. Sorry, Ryan. In that number 5 position, number 5 car, he is up there looking close. And right in front of him, you've got Derek Fulton in the 19. he's trying to stay up front as much as he can. These guys are having an issue getting around the 111 and Brandon Hughes right now, but like you said, Zach, that outside lane is going to continue to try to form and go around it.
Yeah, and you can't, you're looking at 18 to go. In these drivers' head, they're going to be riding out. I've been in this spot before many times. You're going to be trying to mix some sort of patience with trying to get to the front. And Max Steck currently owns the lead by about, half a car length. And he's being pushed by Ryan Wolf. And, you got that 22 of Mike Harnish up there. He's probably turned into my favorite to win. And I've been keeping an eye on him. He's been extremely aggressive, but hasn't, to me, in my opinion, caused any accidents. But he's waiting in the weeds there at 22. You can see him right in the back. He's going to have something to say about this. But Brandon Hughes, I just don't see him being able to keep this lead here for long.
Yeah, it looks like the 21 just pulled down into the low lane behind the 33.
That might be a good move.
Might be. The 5 is still fighting out there on the outside, trying to get a run with the 66 behind him. That's Max Steck in the number 5 car on the outside in third. He's got Derek Fulton, Ryan Wolf in the 66 pushing him. This outside lane was working a little bit better earlier in the race. Don't you agree, Zach?
Yeah, I think it was, but I think what's happening right now is you don't have guys committed. I think you still, as we have 16 more circuits around this 2.5-mile trial over here at Daytona, I think what you're seeing is a lot of patience come into play, and I don't see much of anyone trying to force any issues right now besides Mike Harnish. And you've got Max Steck and Ryan Wolf. If they decide to make that move, I see that 66. He's been incredibly fast all day. If they decide to make a move, I think it's theirs for the taking.
Yeah, just
that's a big wreck.
Absolutely. We'll get the replay pulled up here in just a second, fans. I was just about to talk about Mike Cornish in that mainly ductless heating and air number 22 Impala.
Yeah, you got a junkyard on the back, and like I was saying, I don't think it's going to end very favorably for many of these guys running in such a tight order. And I was talking about Max Steck and Ryan Wolf. They were doing the right thing up there. They weren't too far out in front. They weren't pushing each other. But ultimately, they were able to avoid this, and we didn't catch it on the broadcast. But right here, we're going to see some definite mayhem go down. Let me see if I can analyze here what happened. So you have that top lane running in pretty good order right there. Someone looks like they probably slipped up. Let's see what happened. So you're coming on the backstretch, and it looks like what place gets slipped up here? I think it's in 5th place. No, it's the leader.
Yeah, it's the leader. Yeah, what I'm seeing, Zach, right here is the number 19, who is running second or third, bumps into the leader in the 111.
Yeah, that's spot on.
And he just spins it accidentally. Obviously, he's trying to get a bump draft down this backstretch. And unfortunately, you cannot do that in these cars. As it looks like Derek Fulton in the 19 just gets into the rear end. Brandon Hughes in the 111 basically lifts his rear tires off the ground. Around he goes, and that's big one, number 3.
Yeah, I think if you look at that replay, Max Steck in that 5 car, man, he was one little movement of that wheel from the leader who wrecked to getting totally wiped out. So if you could pull up a replay, I'd like to kind of look at how close that leader, I think it was Hughes, was to just totally whitewash. So watch the leader, I think it's Hughes in the lead. Look at Steck. Watch how close the leader was to ending Steck's race right here. Watch, he gets right in his bumper, hooks him, and he's about to go right up into him, but makes that turn right at the end. And, the same goes for Ryan Wolf. He made a pretty good move to slightly turn that wheel up. And I think those right now, those two guys with 14 to go here are going to be your favorites to win. I'm going to say it's going to be Steck and Wolf that are probably going to have a good chance to win. But you got some new names up there in that top 10 right now that, like I said, weren't there before, and it's going to be interesting to see who can survive this mayhem. The races that are going to come in this series aren't going to be full of mayhem like this always. It's just a product of this type of racing.
Absolutely, Zach. Everybody knows Daytona, Talladega. Whether you're watching it on Fox TV, FS1, FS2, whether you're watching Xfinity, Trucks, or Cup on TV at Daytona, Talladega, Zach, you have this happen. So even though this is the inaugural race of the Josh White Racing Esports ARCA Series, #1, Daytona 200, this is expected. We would love to see less cautions, but it is going to put us in a position, Zach, for an amazing finish to this race, we hope.
Yeah, and I think it's going to be so right now you had Steck and Wolf who've been up front all day. They've been the only guys consistently up front. We've had them both working on that high line, but now they're in first and second. So as we're getting ready to go green here, it's going to be interesting to see whether they actually work together. Are they working together? Maybe they're talking and planning something out, or ultimately they could get just due to the nature of how this restart's going to be, they could end up getting separated. And I believe they want to work together, but it's kind of out of their hands right now unless they make something happen. So look for the 5 in that 66 car, who have been running probably the best all day overall. Look for them to try to make something happen with each other. And you got 1 lap to green here. Look how small that field is. Like I said, we started with 34 guys, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 14. You got 3 in the back. You already got over half the field that's not up there right now. So a lot of the guys that were running up front are not going to have, in the beginning, aren't going to have that opportunity. And like I said in the beginning of the broadcast, a lot of these guys stayed out back and now have an opportunity to make it heard. I didn't see Brandon Bullock in that 4th position up here all day, so he must have been hanging back, and it could pay off.
Exactly there, Zach. We're going back green. I'll let you take the restart.
Yeah, so we got Max Steck and Ryan Wolf. Look, watch as that 66, he allows Max Steck to pull off, and, didn't get that inside move in time. He might try to pull down and duck in there in 3rd, but no, he's just going to side draft Clinton Castleberry and try to make that high line work. He's got some help from the guy behind him, and they're going to end up pulling right to the back of Steck here. It's going to be interesting to see whether Castleberry is able to make a move as they make contact in the back straightaway. Look how small that pack is compared to what we've been running so far.
And Ryan Wolf does get the lead. He's on the outside. If he can pull down, he'll have it.
Yeah. If he pulls down, he'll definitely have it. As he does, finally. That's the first time I see all day where a leader makes a move like that, and I applaud that, because that's what you got to do. You can't move at the chance. If you want to block both lanes, you can. But it's going to be up to everyone. I'm sure there's a lot of guys back there in that second pack that you see sneaking up in there. They're not going to probably reach these guys unless we have a caution, as that beautiful Budweiser number 8 car leads that second pack. I wouldn't be surprised if some of these guys maybe get a little impatient and bring out a yellow flag and punch up the field, because you really have a lot of guys that could possibly be in this. And what you're seeing here these guys aren't hanging back on purpose. This is a product of them trying to get their cars fixed and spending a lot of time on pit road, because you actually have 14 guys in the lead lap. But if this race goes green, it's going to be a battle of these top 7 of Ryan Wolf, Castleberry, Steck, Derek Bolton, Jade Franklin, who we talked about a lot, and Bullock, Cinnamon, and those 7 guys are gonna ultimately, probably, if we go green here, be the only ones with a shot to win.
Again, Clint Castleberry does take the lead in that number 21 Chevrolet. He's out front now, but he's going to have some serious heat from behind there, Zach, as we're getting down to about, my calculations say, 8-9 laps to go.
Yeah, we'll have 9 to go this time by, Robert, and I think only 6 guys. I don't know what happened to that number 3 car of Chris Cinnamon, but imagine that. We had 34 cars that started this with a chance to win. I think we still have probably another caution or two possible here, but think about it. As you see, I don't know who that is right there. It's Jade Franklin. He might be losing that draft as he actually is going to be able to get a chance to get back, but only 6 cars through this mayhem that we've had at Daytona, which you've seen so many times in real life and in iRacing, now have a chance as Castleberry and Ryan Wolf now are going to be battling for this lead. It's going to be, I think they might be able to keep it clean, but look for those guys in that second pack maybe to not be so clean. They got an incentive to maybe bring out a caution.
Yeah, and the leader in that second pack is Brandon Bullock in the number 30. Looks like he's in the Old Farm Computer Chevrolet, and he is up front. He's got some help from behind, and they may be able to, with help from Jade Franklin in the 03 and 4th, they may get a run. And behind him, we've got Derek Fulton in the 19. Where'd he come from, pushing this group on the outside?
Yeah, I don't know where Bullock came from at all. I hadn't seen him all race, but I know that Jade Franklin, through his real-life short track experience, he's got definitely some experience, and I think he's gonna. You could definitely see he's looking low. He's gonna try to make a move, and maybe try to make this a 3-wide battle. We're coming to 7 to go here, so if there's gonna be a caution, it's gonna have to be soon. And these guys over here back in 14th, they'll probably do anything to bring out a caution. But
as they're passing a lot car on the outside. He stays up against the wall, not into it, and we're still racing up front. We've got 6 cars under a blanket there, Zach, and hopefully we do not get a caution. These guys can race it out.
Looks like one of them, looks like Max Steck, unless he can make kind of a last hurrah, he lost it. No,
yeah,
he'll stay in it. He'll stay in it.
Yeah, he's lost a little bit of draft, but these ARCA cars are catching up. Another car on the high side. Hopefully he stays out of the way. Beautiful job by him.
Yeah, he can't even see what's in front of him, so I'm not sure how that happened. I think that's our boy Brett Summers just riding it out here for points.
Yeah, he's trying to get some points here in the last few laps. But we have a huge battle up front, Zach, and this is going to be some exciting racing here for the last 5 laps. We've got the 21 of Castleberry.
Yep.
Castleberry in the lead, but the 66, Ryan Wolf is giving them all kind of heat.
Oh, man. Oh, this is going to be a caution, I think. Oh, no, they were able to save it.
They saved it.
Castleberry and Wolf and Steck, those guys have been up front all day. And, you see this teamwork coming through. Watch Wolf and Steck. They're going to make a move on that high line and ultimately come down to try to take it from Castleberry. I have a really good feeling that Max Steck and Ryan Wolf are probably know each other in real life and are working together, because those bumpers have been together pretty much for these whole 80 laps here. And, like I said, they're definitely going to be a favorite to win, as you see Ryan Wolf side drafting the 21 of Clinton Castleberry. There's 5 laps to go now, so by my calculations, that's 12.5 miles. You're going to see, unless there's a caution, we're probably going to be set up for an extremely close finish, most likely between that 66 and the 21. We're going to see what happens.
Yeah, we got 6 here in the top group, Zach. And the 03 looks like he's going around. The one car's down the apron. Maybe he's just backing off to get a last run. He may lose the draft here, though.
He has a chance to lose it, but ultimately, if he stays, painted on that yellow line, he could stay in.
That's Derek Fulton. I'm sorry.
Derek Fulton. I think he might be able to keep it. Yeah, he'll be able to keep the draft. He's going to stay in that. But 4 laps to go now. And Castleberry and Wolf hanging tough right there, but I know Steck and Wolf are going to be obviously the 2 teammates probably working together, but I think Steck, although he's content to be back there in 4th, everyone wants to win, so there's going to be something to say in these last 3.5 laps here at Daytona. And just quick shout out to Josh White Racing TV. He's putting this all together. And, this has been just an incredible broadcast, incredible race with these 34 guys, and now only 6 having a chance to win here at Daytona.
Yellow flag is out. Unfortunately, we're going to have 3 to go. This will probably set up, Zach, a green-white checkered restart.
Yeah, so like I said, these guys back here in that second pack, they probably wanted that yellow to come out. Yeah, I don't know how that 41 car spun, but they definitely wanted to bring out a caution there. As you can see, Scruggs probably wanted to get back in that lead. So we're going to have probably, 10 or 11 guys now with a chance to win, whereas you had 6 before. So we're going to bunch them up, and we're going to go green, white, checkered. And for me, in that high line, if you look at the running order right now, you've got Ryan Wolf in second, Max Steck in fourth. So that means they're going to line up on the top side. And I think, unfortunately for Castleberry, I don't see Jade Franklin pushing as much as we've seen. Steck and Wolf just totally get together, and they've been in the front all day. But I think you're going to see Wolf and Steck ultimately on that top line, probably edging out right there for the win.
Absolutely. I heard we have 2 green-white checkered attempts here at Daytona in the inaugural Josh White Racing Esports ARCA Daytona 200. We're going to take one last final commercial break and bring you right back to the live action. We'll be right back.
Let's get it. Welcome back to the Josh White Racing Esports ARCA Driver Development Series, the Daytona 200 at Daytona International Speedway. As we're coming back here for this green-white checkered, we're going to be going green in one lap. And one thing that I'm noticing right now is something that I didn't expect. I thought that Ryan Wolf and Max Steck at that caution timing were going to be in second and fourth. Actually, they're in third and fifth, which totally changes up the game. So now you're going to have Jade Franklin and Derek Fulton in second and fourth, and I think that it's going to be interesting. They haven't been the fastest, but that outside lane seems to be pretty fast. But, that 66 car has been incredibly strong on that push. So it's probably going to be even closer. And I'd say that 66 and that 5 car of Steck and Wolf might leave that 21 liter out to dry somehow. So that's just my feeling. And we're going to have 2 to go to settle this, Robert.
Yeah, Zach, I definitely agree with you 100%. The number 66 has been a strong car all night long. Ryan Wolf knows what he's doing. He's on the low lane here. We haven't seen him down there very much, but he's going to be behind Castleberry. And that's going to be interesting to see how he can push him. And this is all strategy on when they go on the green, Who gets a run? Who doesn't get a run? And do we stay green for 2 laps, Zach?
This is going to be awesome. I don't think we'll stay green. I think Steck and Wolf are definitely teaming up here. Watch as we go green, and Jade Franklin's going to try to get in front a little bit, but you can't do that. You can't lead. You got to let Castleberry get that. He's probably going to get a penalty. I don't know about that. I don't know what's going to happen right here, but Jade Franklin definitely gave that lead back. Watch that 66 right now. He's going to try to make that move right on the inside. It's not going to work. As Jade Franklin's going to get that run. Like I said, that top is just fast. It's fast.
Yeah, and I think the 99 of Red, I like the driver, but I think he jumped the restart. We'll have to see the replay.
Yeah, he's back in it somehow. But we've got a 12 or 14 car battle now for the lead. As Jade Franklin, that real-life driver, he's got to pull down right here. He's got to pull down or he's going to get passed. As he pulls down, we're coming to 1 to go. I don't know if we'll be able to make it green, possibly. Yeah, we'll make it green. And look right now, oh my God, this is getting too exciting. Franklin in the lead. That outside lane doesn't look like they have enough power to get there. I think Jade Franklin's looking pretty good.
Yeah, Castleberry's going to get a great big push here from the 66, like we've seen all night long. Depends on if he can get the push in time.
We'll see what Steck and Wolf can do right here. They've got a little bit of a gap, which is good. And he goes low. They're going under. This is awesome. I don't care. Don't give him a penalty. Let the boys race. And there goes Steck. He's going to make the move on the inside. They're 4 wide. And Wolf is going to end up taking that lead illegally. As a huge wreck is going to happen, we're going to see him race to the line. Who's going to come out of this total madness up in front? We got the guy going backwards in the lead. And who's going to make it to the end? Is it going to be Franklin? Did Jade Franklin win this one? Or no, it's going to be the 8. What's going to happen? What's going to happen?
These guys were trying to get back to the start-finish.
I don't know what just happened. I think the 8 car might have pulled this one out by a couple feet.
I've got the 19 of Derek Fulton in first, but I could be behind a little bit. We have to bring this replay up from many angles.
Yeah, I'm sorry, fans. I don't know. I just don't know what happened. But that's the nature of the beast here at Daytona International Speedway. Thanks to Josh White for putting this together. Is this the finish right here? I don't see why the 8 let off here. He shouldn't have let off. He should have kept it in the gas. Watch that. Why did he do that? He could have won.
If we can pull up the...
I think Fulton might have come out.
Yeah, if we can pull up the 19 in-car or some kind of view, I think the 19 got it.
Yeah, the 19 got it. But I don't know why that 8 let up so much. Yeah, he got it. Wow, that was incredible.
I tell you what, we need to watch this replay a couple of times.
Yeah, that 66 just totally ignored the bounds. He wanted it so bad and ended up getting turned. So I guess a little bit of karma at play there. You just don't do that. You don't put all 4 wheels below that yellow line. But I guess he felt like he deserved it. Yeah, look, that's totally below the yellow line. Totally. He's still under it. He went that whole backstretch painted on it.
Absolutely. We're going to have to see how the admins of Josh White Racing Esports ARCA Series Daytona 200 works out. The rule is iRacing rules. You can go below the double yellow line, but if he calls a caution, you may be penalized. So we'll see if there is a penalty or not.
And, if I know Josh well, look at that 8, by the way. He had a chance, but he didn't get it. But if I know Josh well enough, I think he respects that kind of racing. I know him. He's kind of respects guys that maybe don't 100% play by the rules. And, I definitely like that move. I think it was exciting at the end. He did what he had to do. And, it didn't work out for him. But he definitely put himself in a position where he could have won the race.
And that's exactly what you got to do at the end of the inaugural. This will go down, Zach, as the very first race of one of the biggest, newest, most popular iRacing series out there. And that's what you have to do. And give us a couple seconds. We're going to get the top 3 up here for the interviews.
Yeah, and I'm proud to be a part of this, guys. I don't think I'll be broadcasting this much longer as I am a student and a racer. But my name's Zach Banks. And I do have a racing page if you would like to give me a follow. It's Zach Banks Sports. We've gotten 100 new fans on my page in the past 2 days. It's been incredible. I run ultra marathon racings on foot, and I run real life and races in cars. So if you want to give me a follow at Zach Banks Sports on Facebook, that would be awesome. But yeah, this race here at the Josh White Racing TV has been incredible. Thank you to Robert for commentating this with me. I had so much fun. And yeah, we're going to see, we're going to get the everything squared away and see what the actual finishing order is. But the most important part was how amazing this is and the future of this league.
Yeah, while we're trying to get all these drivers, they're buckling out of their cars, taking off the seatbelts, pulling off the Honda devices. Most of these guys tonight are extremely angry, Zach. We're trying to get these guys up here for interviews. I've got the third place finisher right now. If you can locate the first and second, we're going to go ahead and take a quick interview with our third place finisher. I'll do that with Scott Ketty.
User was moved to your channel.
Scott, this is Robert and Zach up in the broadcast booth. Tell us how you pulled off that third place finish. You got us, Scott?
Looks like we're having some difficulty getting to Scott here. But, I didn't see his name up there in the top end very long. For much of the race. But the fact that he ended up in that podium spot, pretty incredible. So maybe we'll be able to get to him pretty soon.
Scott Ketty, you got a copy. Chris Cinnamon, this is Robert and Zach in the broadcast booth. How'd you finish tonight and how did you get there?
Hey guys. It was a good race. I tried to stay in the back of the field there for the first 30 laps, 40 laps, but that didn't really help. Seems like I was avoiding wrecks no matter where I went.
Well, Chris, let me ask you a quick question. I definitely, it was a big deal in the broadcast that we knew that drivers were going to be hanging back and trying to make that move to the end. And I mentioned you a couple times because I saw you hanging back there and I saw you coming towards the front, towards the end. Was this your whole mindset going in? Did you plan this from the beginning?
Yeah, I planned this, did the same thing for the truck race as well, just try to avoid a couple wrecks, but seems like no matter where I went, people were spinning around me.
Well, is there are you an esports racer or do you race in real life as well?
No, I used to do drag racing about 10 years ago, but unfortunately doing nothing at the moment.
Okay. Well, is there any Facebook page or any sort of website that you want to promote, or are you just here to have fun and win some money?
Just here to have fun, win some money. I want to say thanks to you guys and Josh White for putting this on. It's a great league, a great event, and I'm having a good time.
Well, yeah, dude. I think you did an incredible job, and to come out of here with the second place after running in the back most of the day, that's what I was saying. A lot of these guys that are running in the back, just such as yourself, end up with that, incredible chance to win, and you almost did. So congratulations, Chris. You did a great job. I definitely took note of what you were doing all day, and congratulations on winning the money, and congratulations going forward.
Thanks a lot. Appreciate it.
Yeah, no problem.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Chris. Now we're going to pull up our second place finisher, Derek Fulton.
User was moved to your channel.
Derek, number 19. Unbelievably crazy race. How did you end up finishing in second?
It was a crazy race. I kind of got into the back of Brandon there at one point, just lifted his rear tires up just slightly and it caused a big problem. So just want to say sorry for everybody for that, because that's the last thing, I want to do is cost these guys some races and points, and just looking to come out and have some fun tonight, and definitely lucked out on one tonight. I was not expecting anything to happen here tonight, that's for sure.
Well, you came out, I saw you the whole day, the whole race, and I was keeping an eye on you, and you were definitely one of the guys that decided, I think at the beginning of the race you weren't in the top 10 for that much, but from the very beginning. But if you look at laps 20 to 80, you were in the top 10 the whole time. You were definitely making the big moves throughout the whole race. And I just, I don't know how you didn't come out with that win there, but you definitely did a great job in keeping yourself up there and representing the Derek Fulton number 19 that whole event. So congratulations. And, you get to go home with some money now. So go get yourself a good dinner. And congratulations on being a part of this Josh White Racing TV Esports series. You are definitely going to be a star on the rise for sure, by the way I can see you driving today.
Oh, well, thank you, sir. I really appreciate those kind words. Before I go here, I just wanted to shout out happy birthday to Dale. Phantom Racing just want to say happy birthday. And
let me ask you, Derek, before you leave, do you have any Facebook pages or do you have any sort of website that you want to promote?
Yeah, I'm on Facebook right now at Phantom GFX, just kind of getting going with that stuff. So stay tuned. Definitely have a lot more coming up in the future here. Looking to get into the late model there for the spring next year as well. So hoping to document as much of that as I can as well.
All right, yeah. Awesome. Well, you just got a new fan. So congratulations on your second place finish. Congratulations on winning money, and hope you can maybe get a win here in the Josh White Racing Esports TV series.
Awesome. Thank you, man. Take care. Have a great night.
No problem.
User was moved.
Thank you there. Now we have our winner down here in Victory Lane. This is our wonderful driver here, Rhett Tucker. Rhett, tell us how you got this done.
I won?
Yes, sir. You won the race. As far as our numbers look, we may have to recalculate them. Hopefully you have no penalties. Tell us how you got there.
No way, dude. That is nuts. Man, I used my quick repair too early, and I was worried about not being able to use one if I get caught up in a caution or crash. And I just kept coming in, repairing it slowly, and I came from the back, man.
So tell us how much. Sorry, Zach. Tell us how much damage you had. If you use a quick repair, you had to come back in and do more damage. So you won this race with a little bit of damage?
No, man, I had all kinds of damage. I still had another 40 seconds to take care of. My trunk was beat up. My hood was beat up. I got to give a shout out to Ryan Kendall in the 68 for drilling me in the driver's side and keeping me pointed in the right direction when it counted.
Well, Rhett Tucker, I want to say something real quick. Is that you were one of the guys that actually submitted a driver bio. And I looked at your bio at the beginning of the race, and I was talking about you all race. And I want to say that you from the beginning were my pick to win. I know it didn't come out as easy as you thought, but out of 34 guys, I had a feeling that you were going to be the guy to come out on top. I liked the way you were driving the whole race. You were staying in the right spots, and ultimately it paid off. And now you're going to get some good money to go ahead and get a good dinner. And just want to say congratulations and thank you for making me look so smart.
That's awesome. Thank you, Zach. Hopefully you got my back in the next one too. The winnings and everything, those are going to pay for my teammates next week entry fees. That's what I'm doing with that.
That's nice. That's good for you.
I mean, I can't thank you guys enough for putting this stuff on. This is a blast, man. It makes a Thursday feel like a Friday.
Yeah, I feel the same way every single time on Thursday night. Who do you want to give particular thanks to? Your sponsors for this particular race on your car who helped you get here?
First of all, I got to thank Josh White Racing Esports for doing this. Can't believe he's got an app and everything going, so I get as many people as I can to download that and watch some racing. I would thank, Red Bull if I actually drove for them, but I got to work on that still. But my car looks good, so I guess I got to thank Raging Cajun Graphics and everybody on RTR. We had a lot of teamwork going on for the first half of this race, man.
Well, you did incredible, Rhett, and I thought your car looked really good the whole race. I don't know how it said you won, but you did win officially, and just an awesome job by everyone in this Josh White Esports TV. It's just what a great series, and I'm glad that you're a part of it. I'm glad that you won the inaugural race, and we had a lot of fun watching you.
That's awesome. I'm glad we put on a good show, man. I was worried it was just going to be a caution fest, but I mean, we had a bunch of good runs.
Yeah, that was amazing. A lot of good runs, few cautions. Awesome to see you out front at the checkered flag. Congratulations. We'll definitely see you next time. Have a good night.
Thank you, guys.
User was moved out of your
Well, Zach,
channel.
what do you think? What are your final thoughts on this inaugural race of the Josh White Racing Esports inaugural ARCA Series Daytona 200?
Well, I couldn't be more proud to have helped kick this thing off. I have a knack for kicking off things, and podcasts and things. And I just want to give myself a quick shout out. Obviously, you can go like my page at Zach Banks Sports. I'm gonna make big things happen. Hopefully, I'll be running in the Euro Series next year with Hendricks Motorsport, and go for a championship in Europe, the NASCAR Euro Series. I thought this race was amazing. Josh White's a friend of mine. Sometimes I've raced with him, and he's a little aggressive, but Josh White's a great dude, and he's putting together something amazing. And I just want to give him thanks for reaching out and asking me to do this. Obviously this is all out of love, and I'm just glad to be able to bring this out here. And it was amazing to do it with you, Robert. You're a real professional, and just the racing on track was just awesome to see. These guys and this, obviously we're going through a hard time in the world, but, doing the best we can to have fun and keep racing alive, baby.
Absolutely, Zach. I 100% support everything you just said. Never met Josh White myself, but he is a great man. He's a man of integrity. He does what he says what he does. And I'm just privileged to have met you tonight, Zach. And I'm going to beg you to come back for the next race next Thursday.
We'll see, man. I got a lot of, I'm taking 4 classes in the summer. I race in real life. I do a lot of things. And honestly, I was just trying to help my friend Josh out. So maybe I'll be able to come back soon. I really enjoyed doing it. It was, we definitely have some chemistry here. We did this, no dead air or anything like that. Maybe I'll be back one day, but I got a lot of priorities to take care of myself. And, like I said, thanks, Josh, for getting me on here. And it was an absolute blast. And I hope you guys can maybe follow my racing page. And, I'll definitely be back on here in the future. But, life gets in the way sometimes. But thank you, Robert. It's been a real blast to bring this Daytona 200 Josh White event here. It's been amazing.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much, fans. Make sure you follow his Facebook page. And I personally wish you the best of luck in all your endeavors there in the Europe Racing, Hendrick Motorsports. I can tell already with your personality, you're going to make it. You are definitely going to make it.
Well, I appreciate that. And, the one thing I focused on is every day, just keep your foot on the gas. And no pun intended, but I do a lot of things such as like ultra marathon running. I run 35 miles at a time, and then I hop in a race car. So, I want to separate myself from, just the normal guys who, get paid, get that big money from their parents to go race. And that's what I'm all about is, separating myself and showing that anything's possible. And I really appreciate that you have that support and belief in me. I think big things are going to happen. We've got some good things on the horizon. And, one day I hope to be a NASCAR Cup Series champion. Honestly.
Yes, sir. I believe you, and I'm excited for it. I'm going to be around for a long time. I got maybe 3 years older than you are, but I love your attitude. And America fans, that's what America was built on. This kind of cannot lose attitude. That's how this country has become awesome. It continues to be awesome. And we've got some great people to wrap it up here. Want to give a huge shout out to Josh White. He has come down and made a huge investment in our racing here. He's hired some great people. It's going to be incredible. We want to give a final thanks for tonight. All you fans watching, make sure you tune in next Thursday night. It'll be round number 2. We want to give a big shout out to Emerson Arden. Did an incredible job here on the cameras tonight. Absolutely. Again, thanks, Josh White. Fans, this is Robert McFarland signing off for Zach Banks. Josh White, And Emerson Arden, you fans have a great night, and we'll definitely see you next Thursday, and have a wonderful 4th of July.
Let's blow it up again.
Rifle Caddy is a unique product. I mounted it in my truck. We've been through some rough terrain. There's a lot of tough roads that we go through here to get to some of the spots that we want to walk into. I can definitely say that the Rifle Caddy stands up to